Hey everyone, good morning. As we have some technical difficulties, I'm a special guest that was here scheduled to join today. I'm Shelby Allen. I'm a regional education manager for Schwarzkopf Professional. Super excited. Amber is backstage, so she will be joining us very soon once they kind of get their technical difficulties worked out. But I'm very excited to be here today. And I am here to talk about our E-Academy from Schwarzkopf Professional. I think you can probably hear me, but maybe you can't see me. Is that what I'm hearing? Or is that what I'm understanding? Oh, there we go. Hi. Good morning, everyone. Like I said, I'm Shelby Allen. I'm a regional education manager from Schwarzkopf Professional. Really excited to be here with you all this morning. I know Amber is usually the face of the Ask Me Anythings, and she is going to be here very soon. She's in my ear, so I can hear her. I know they're working on some technical difficulties, but I am scheduled to come on today to talk to you about our E-Academy. So for those of you that maybe aren't familiar, Schwarzkopf Professional has an online learning hub that has everything education that you could possibly want. And our E-Academy has been around for a while, but it has been completely revamped. A small team, we've been working really hard to revamp our E-Academy for our United States users. And we are so excited that it has officially kind of gone back live as of February 2026. So I was invited on today to just kind of talk to you a little bit about that. Please, we would love to see any questions that you might have about the E-Academy. I'd love to know, have you been able to use it? Have you gone on? For those of you that aren't familiar, the E-Academy can be accessed at www.skpeducation.com. That, as I mentioned, is going to be your hub for everything education when it comes to Schwarzkopf Professional. And what I'm most excited to share, of course, the E-Academy is great, but really what I'm most excited to share is our new foiled cashmere masterclass. So you have probably seen, if you are on social media or if you subscribe to any of the fashion bloggers, fashion videos, things of that nature, you've probably seen there's a resurgence of Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, 90s icon Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. She is making a comeback in pop culture right now. And we're really excited. There's a TV show that recently launched, and the actress that plays Carolyn Bessette Kennedy has this gorgeous, buttery Bessette blonde. And we are so excited to share that Schwarzkopf Professional is actually what was used to create that Bessette blonde. We have a celebrity stylist that we work with, Carrie Hill. She has used Schwarzkopf Professional for years, long before we even knew who she was. She's been using Schwarzkopf Professional, and she used our products to transform the actress on this TV show to create the Bessette blonde that everybody's talking about right now. So you are going to have clients coming in, showing you pictures of this Bessette blonde and wanting to recreate it. And we have created a 3-part masterclass on our E-Academy that takes you step by step on exactly how to recreate that Bessette blonde using foiled cashmere. Foiled cashmere is the trend that we're calling that Bessette blonde, if you will. And on our E-Academy, we have worked closely with Carrie Hill and Tracy Cunningham, both celebrity stylists out of Beverly Hills at Mesh Salon, to create 3 different certification courses that are absolutely free. Anyone can go on to skpeducation.com, create an account, and take these 3 certifications. So we really love to hear if anyone in the chat has already taken these certifications, or if you have any questions about foiled cashmere or just our E-Academy in general. We'd love to see any questions that you have. I have a support team behind me with me behind the scenes, so they're going to be feeding me questions so I can make sure to get those answered for you as Amber kind of works through and joins us for the regularly scheduled Ask Me Anything session. So please ask us any questions that you have about the E-Academy, or if anyone has already completed the foiled cashmere courses, I would love to see some hearts, maybe some comments in the chat of, yes, you've done it, you've loved it, whatever it was. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about foiled cashmere. So foiled cashmere is the trend that we are calling basically this Beset blonde, as I mentioned previously. And it is our certifications. There's 3 different certifications. So we have our precision foiling specialist that takes you through the 4x4 foiled method, which is a full head highlight foil placement that is going to help you become more efficient and give you these really luxurious dimensional blonde end results. We are moving away from lived in color, and we are seeing to the scalp blonding, vibrant, bright dimensional blondes coming back. And the 4x4 foiled method is how you can do that. So whether you've been foiling for ages, if you're a veteran stylist that's been foiling for decades, or if you're a newer hairdresser that maybe isn't so confident with your foiling skills, this course is going to be great for you. Really taking it back to basics, reminding you, how should you hold your comb? How are you taking those sections? What kind of weaves are you taking and why? What products are you using? All of these things are covered in our Precision Foiling Specialist certification. Next, we have our Custom Toning Specialist certification, which includes 2 different toning techniques. So the Beset blonde had kind of 2 different eras. We had the early 90s era, which was a little bit more lived in. It was a little bit more rogue, as Carrie likes to say. You have more of the depth and dimension underneath, moving to a brighter kind of blonde through the top. And to recreate that and give you a 2026 more refined, more modern version of that, we have our gradient toning technique. And this really talks you through how we're layering different colors on the head and how we're placing them on the head to give you this really beautiful depth underneath with the brighter blonde on top, but in a way that appears seamless. So that's our gradient toning technique. We also have bespoke layered toning, which is going to be looking at more of the late 90s look. So whenever Carolyn Beset had that brighter all over, really bright blonde, the bespoke layered toning is going to take you through how you can kind of create that. So we have the darker blonde, more of the late 90s blonde, and then we have the brighter, lighter blonde, which is the late 90s. So both of those techniques are walked through in our Custom Toning Specialist certification. Last but most certainly not least, we have a 90s blowout specialist certification. This course actually works with Tracy Cunningham and her assistant Burke as they take you through a really classic 90s volume blowout. So I don't know if you all were aware, Tracy Cunningham we think of now as being like this color goddess, this color extraordinaire, but did you know that she actually got her start in the 90s by being a blowout specialist? Before she was ever really known for her color, she was known for her blowouts. And that's really how she got into the game and got her name known, is by creating these really gorgeous blowouts on celebrities, going on press junkets. And that's how she built her business. And then she kind of shifted to color. So blowouts are something that I think a lot of hairdressers, they've kind of gone away. But we want to bring those back because we know that blowouts are a really great way to show off your work. You spend all of this time creating gorgeous color and a haircut for your client, and then your client leaves wet. No, we want to make sure that they are leaving with this beautiful blowout that really showcases your work and markets your work. You do all of this work, so why not showcase it? So the 90s blowout specialist certification is going to basically take you through that classic volume blowout, the key tools, the products, and the tips and tricks that you need to know to create that beautiful volume that's going to last for your client. So I think that there's a few different questions in the chat. Bear with me. Catherine asked, can you do the classes online remotely? Absolutely. And that is what's great. If you go to skpeducation.com and create an account on our eAcademy, as soon as you log in, you will see all 3 certifications right there at the top of the screen. You cannot miss them. The Precision Foiling Specialist certification, the Custom Toning Specialist certification, and the 90s Blowout Specialist certification. All 3 are there for you. Each certification is going to take about 20 to 25 minutes. And after you finish that certification, you'll have access to a couple of things. You'll have access to a badge that you can download and overlay on top of any and all of your images for social media to advertise, I am custom toning specialist certified. I'm 90s blowout specialist certified. And then you will also have the system will be able to generate a certificate for you that you can actually download and hang in the salon, add it to your wall of certificates and certifications and all of that to show that you are specialized, you are certified in these techniques. So when your clients come in asking for foiled cashmere or Bassett blonde, you can show, I've done the course, I know exactly what I need to do to create this look for you, and you will be able to set yourself apart from other stylists that haven't gone through this certification. So yes, that's a great question, Catherine. They are all available online for you right now, skpeducation.com. All right. So do we have other questions that are coming in? I see a lot of different things coming in, and it's taking me a moment to kind of read through them. Alana asked, how much are these courses? Alana, that is a great question. These 3 certifications are here for you for free. We have created these 3 online certification courses, and they are at no cost to you. All you have to do is log into the eAcademy, create an account if you don't have one already. Again, skpeducation.com, create an account, and you can complete all 3 of these certification courses for free. We want to give you the tools. Schwarzkopf Professional wants to be your partner in foiled cashmere to give you not only the products and tools that you need, but the education that you need in order to create this look. So all 3 of these certification courses are free. Now, if you decide that you go through the certifications and you would like to do foiled cashmere hands-on, on our eAcademy, you will also find different ticketed events that are taking place across the country to where you can actually do this. You can do this technique in person, hands-on. So you'll also find that underneath all the 3 certifications, there is a hot link, if you will, that says Foiled Cashmere Masterclass on Tour in person. If you click on that, it'll pull up a list of all of the in-person events that are happening in your area, and it'll direct you on how you can get a ticket to that. We are adding more dates and locations every single day. So if you log in today and you don't find something near you, please check back next week and the week after that, because we are adding new dates and locations every single day. We want to bring foiled cashmere to you wherever you are.
Hi, Shelby. I made it on.
Hey, Amber.
Hi. So I know that was a long time. Thank you so much for all of that information. Was there another question that you wanted to answer real quick?
Well, that's what I was just about to look. It's not a question, but Julie said she chose Schwarzkopf as a student 2 years ago and she has 0 regrets. So I love to hear that. That stood out to me as I was kind of looking through the questions to see what else.
Amazing.
It looks like there's Chica Chihuahua maybe has a question that you can answer a little bit later on for Demi permanents. It looks like people are saying that they're loving the classes. So I love that. Again, skpeducation.com is going to be where you want to go to join our eAcademy. If you do not have an account yet, register for an account. The account is free. As soon as you register for that account, not only do you have access to these 3 certifications, as if that wasn't reason enough to go in, but we have all sorts of product knowledge and technique classes that are available for you to take at your own time. We also have a link to our whole virtual schedule. So if you're looking for an interactive virtual class on Blonde Me, IGORA Royale, or IGORA Vibrance, we have those monthly dates that take place. So you can find the schedule for that. And then you can also find our monthly technique classes that are happening. We have another question. Oh, can you get this in the UK? So that is a great question. H. Miller 83, thank you for asking. So the foiled cashmere classes are specifically available to the United States right now. So if you are in the UK, you do have a version of the eAcademy for the UK market. However, foiled cashmere is currently only available on the United States eAcademy. However, I have a trick for you. So lean in, listen up. If you want to create an account so that you can take these eAcademy courses, register, go to skpeducation.com. That'll take you directly to the United States E-Academy, and you can register. Use our office address and zip code as your account, if you will, as your zip code. It asks you for a zip code. So use our office zip code when you go to register, and that will get you into the United States platform. That way you can take these foiled cashmere classes. We want this to be shared far and wide around the world. I think our global friends and partners around the country or around the world are working on getting foiled cashmere onto their sites, but it's not currently available. So if you want to have access to foiled cashmere, you do need to create an account on the United States page. Go in. Amber, can you remind me Culver City zip code? I think it's
9023.
Oh my gosh, I'm good.
90230.
Perfect. So 90230 is our zip code for our academy in Culver City, California, just outside of Los Angeles. So if you want to create an account on the United States site and you're not in the United States, use that zip code and it will get you in, and you can take our foiled cashmere masterclass certifications.
Amazing.
All right.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Were there any other questions you can see, Shelby, from the E-Academy? If not, just know that you can type in all your other questions. We're going to spend the rest of our Ask Me Anything answering all of the other questions, but Shelby's going to wrap up soon. So if you Academy, now is the time to type it in. If you haven't, then we'll move on to the others. So Shelby, do you see anything else in the comments?
I don't think so. I think we answered the questions that we had. So could you do the classes online? Can they be done remotely? Absolutely. These 3 certifications are available for free and online to all of our United States users. And then we talked about anyone that's not in the United States that doesn't want to miss out on foiled cashmere. You can use our Culver City zip code in order to access those classes.
Amazing.
So I think that's everything.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Shelby. Also, thank you for holding this together as we had technical on our end. This is our first time bringing a guest in, and obviously we didn't know how that was going to go. So thank you for holding us through that moment. We so appreciate you, and we appreciate all of your hard work on getting the E-Academy and those foiled cashmere certifications up and ready. Can't wait if you haven't taken for all of you guys to take it. And Shelby, I know you have another call to get on. So thank you so much for joining, and maybe we'll see you another
thank you
time.
So much, Amber. I'm glad that you're able to get on. I'll pass everything back to you, but thank you so much for having me. And if you have any E-Academy questions, you can find me on social or message our team, and they will be able to get you all sorted. So thanks, Amber. Have a good rest of your day.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So we are going to continue on with our Ask Me Anything. I hope that answered all of your E-Academy questions. I'm here to answer any other questions that you may have. And I see we had one for a while back from Chicula. I don't even want to say it. But this question is, you used Shades EQ on your husband and he had a terrible allergic reaction. What is another Demi permanent that you could use? I'm so glad that you asked me this question. So another Demi permanent that you could use is our IGORA VIBRANCE. So IGORA VIBRANCE is Schwarzkopf's Demi permanent hair color range. And this hair color range has a of options for you. So I'm going to open this up for a second so you can see this book is pretty large, so you have a lot of options. Now, I'm not really sure if you were looking for gray coverage for your husband, or if you're looking for more of a gray blending moment. But if you're looking for gray coverage or gray blending moment, right here on this first page are a ton of really amazing options for you. What I love about our IGORA VIBRANCE is that you can use different developers to give you different jobs. So if you're truly looking for that up to 70% gray blending, you can always mix it with your 13 volume activator lotion. This 13 volume is going to give you that maximum gray blending. And with that, if you're looking for that maximum coverage, I recommend the -00 series. -00 is that natural extra. There's extra pigment weight here, and utilizing this along with their 13 volume can give you up to 70% gray blending. Now, if you're looking for just up to 50% gray blending, use any of our other fashion shades and mix it with their 13 volume. If you are looking for just a little bit of gray blending, up to 30%, you can just use your 6 volume lotion or gel. So hopefully that answered that question. And then our next question that we have here, let's take a look. I'm going to see if we can go down a little bit because I know we have some about foiled cashmere, but I know we answered all of those questions. So let's see if I can get down here a little bit. All right, let's see. Get a little bit further, a little bit. Here we go. My hair is not natural blonde. I've been dyeing my hair blonde, and every 6 months I like more than 60% gray. I colored my root with a natural level 9, but my gray doesn't cover. What color would you suggest for me? So what I'm hearing is that you highlight your hair, but in between those highlights, you like to put a base color because you're looking to get that gray coverage with that base color. So if you're looking for 100% gray coverage and you're looking for that gray coverage in a permanent hair color line, I would recommend utilizing our IGORA Riel. So IGORA Riel is going to be in our red box here. Now we have a lot of options in this. What I do know about blondes is if you're not naturally a blonde, you're naturally, it looks like a level 6 or maybe every 6 months or maybe a level 8. Either way, whenever you create lift with color, you're typically getting warmth. So I would start by utilizing a -1 series. This is our Cendre. A -1 has a blue-violet color pigment. Violet will help to kick out any yellow orange, giving you a more natural end result, as when you lift, you're getting that yellow orange tone. Now that will give you 100% gray coverage on its own, and you can see that but just by looking at the bottom of this swatch here, it says 100%. So it shows you that you will truly get 100% gray coverage from this color. But if you're looking for some color ranges that are a little bit cooler, our other shades will give you up to 70% gray coverage on their own. And we have an entire page that is dedicated to your Cendres and your cools. So you can choose any shades on this page as well. Now, if you have a fine hair texture, you can typically get gray coverage 100% with just 10 volume. But if you have a more coarse hair texture, you would want to use 20 volume. Now, what I did want to talk to you about is maybe you feel like you do a level 9, but maybe a level 9 isn't light enough for your hair. But if you go into a high lift series, you're not getting gray coverage. We do have some shades called Lift and Blend in our Blonde Me range. These shades are going to give you up to 4 levels of lift on the naturally pigmented hair and deposit on the white hair, giving this beautiful multi-dimensional blonde. So that you're getting 100% gray coverage with these shades, but you're also getting the lift on the naturally pigmented hair. These can be utilized with 30 or 40 volume Blonde Me developer and processed for 30 to 45 minutes. 30 for fine hair or 45 for coarse. So if you feel like a level 9 is maybe not quite light enough for you, maybe switch and try our Lift and Blend shades in the Blonde Me range, and it'll go so well with all of your highlights that you put in, and you can choose a toner that matches to the shade in the Lift and Blend. So love that question. Thank you for that one. Our next question here is, hi, what shades from IGORA Royal Absolutes would celebrity hairstylists gravitate towards for a beautiful neutral, slightly cooler blonde for 100% gray? I've seen they're using a lot of 0s and 1s. So 0 is natural neutral and 1 is Cendre. So you're talking about absolutes. Absolutes in our range are going to be our premium color brand for 100% gray coverage with our collagen and ciliamines. So it's a pro-age complex. The collagen is going to fill in any brittle sites, making that hair feel thicker and fuller, but also the ciliamines are going to smooth that hair cuticle. So you're going to have a better hair feel with the absolutes, but they also have 30% more pigment weight than the regular IGORA Riel. Now this page here is all about absolutes. Every color on this page is an absolute shade that has that pro-age complex along with having that 30% more pigment weight. So as far as what colors would be used for celebrity natural results, you could use any shade, but a lot of them are fashion shades. So I would say this swatch right here is going to be the #1 swatch that you would want to use. So as you mentioned, the 0s and the 1s, those are naturals and those are Cendres, which are cooler shades. So this particular swatch is going to be more of those natural tones. You've got a -140. That's a Cendre, which is a blue violet, a cool mixed with a beige, which is a little bit warmer, but a soft gold. And the two of those together create the most beautiful natural shade. So along with this, we also have a couple of shades that are a -10. So it's that cendre first and then has that natural. If you have a client that tends to get warm very frequently, the Dash 10 has that cendre, that cooler tone first, but still that natural to give you 100% gray coverage. So I would say these are the shades that you would be using to give you that really natural result. But I want to make sure that you understand there's so many other beautiful shades, and right now there's beautiful natural tones in your coppers as well. So you'll notice that we have a couple of copper shades here that are really beautiful natural tones as well that are already pre-blended for you. The beauty with your IGORA Absolutes is that they don't need to be mixed with another color. They're pre-blended. So I know that I can take this swatch and I can choose a color on this swatch, use that by itself with 20 volume IGORA Real Developer, process for 30 to 45 minutes, get my 100% gray coverage in a beautiful end result without mixing other things in. So love that question. Thank you for asking that. I really love getting 100% gray coverage, and especially utilizing our IGORA Absolutes because that Pro Age Complex just makes the hair shinier and healthier as well. So let's move on to our next question. And if you're just joining, don't forget to type your questions into the chat box. I'll be answering them today. And then go to our skpeducation.com page and go ahead and book your classes foiled cashmere. And don't forget, you can also book a one-on-one appointment with an educator if I don't answer your question here, and that's going to be SKP EDU. So SKP for Schwarzkopf, EDU for education.com, and book your one-on-one appointment. All right, so I love this next question because I feel like a lot of people have this question. Now, I don't have the actual box here, but we have something in our IGORA Real range called Pastel Fire. Pastel Fire is a unique tool, if you will. And we had actually this week something called Love Fest, where we brought all our education team members in and we had an activation table at what we called our Hairchella here in the office. And we focus on Pastel Fire. So Pastel Fire has 3 jobs. One job is it can give you one extra level of lift. Okay, we're going to hold for just a second. A little echo on my end. So give it just a quick second. Okay. So give it a quick second. Pastel Fire. Okay, we're going to hold for a quick second. Can you turn your volume all the way down? Is there a mute button on there? All right, well, is it echoing for all of you out there or just for me? If it's not echoing for you, I think we're good. So if you want to type into the comments, let me know if you're echoing. And if not, I think we are fine. So looking at this Pastel Fire is a unique tool that we have. It's echoing for them too? Okay, so echoing everywhere. So give us a quick second. We'll try to figure it out on our end. I do apologize. I think there's a ghost in the office today. I think someone's trying to mess with everything. So I apologize. All right, so it sounds like maybe it stopped on your end, even if we're still hearing an echo here. So type in the comments if you're still hearing the echo. We do apologize, but let's get back to Pastel Fire. Pastel Fire is a unique tool that has 3 jobs. Job number 1 is it's going to give you 1 extra level of lift in your color formula. The second job that it has is it's going to have a slight cendre tone to it. That means a slight blue violet. So if I'm getting lift, I'm usually getting a little underlying warmth, and that blue violet will help to cancel that out. Job number 3 is it's diluting my color. So 3 different jobs. So I want you to right now picture that I have 2 cups in front of me, and one is water and one is Pastel Fire. So we're going to call water our clear, which is 0-00, and we're going to call our milk Pastel Fire. So think of milk as Pastel Fire. So we're going to take red, which is going to be 6-00, and we're going to take red food coloring and put it in each bottle or a cup, if you will. So if I took red food coloring and I put it inside of a glass of water, it's just going to shear it out. It's going to make that red and make it look more like a cool, dilute version of red, slightly lighter than what it was. But if I take that red and put it in a glass of milk, while it's going to soften that red, it's also going to make it look more pastel. So it's because it's got that little cendre to it. So think of that pastel fire is like putting my color in milk versus putting my color in water. So hopefully that helps a little bit. It gives you that one extra level of lift. It has that cendre undertone, and it's also going to dilute your color formula to give you a more pastel version of what you have, which is why I say milk versus water. So hopefully that helps. If that didn't answer your question, don't forget to book your one-on-one appointment with an Ask Expert at skpedu.com. All right, so next question. Did they discontinue 5-57? 5-57 is level 5, and that is a gold copper. So you will be happy to know they did not discontinue it. So if you are struggling to get 5-57, it means that it's probably just out in the warehouse. And so just don't fret. We are actively working on getting everything up and ready. So hopefully you'll be able to get your 5-57 very soon. If it's not available now, hold out, it will be. Now, if you want to create your own 5-57, now I'm going to talk about this both in Agora Real and also in Vibrance, just so that you're aware. So there is a 5-5, level 5 copper, but there is also a 5-7, level 5. Sorry, one is level 5 gold and the other is level 5 copper. So when we think of 5-57, it's a level 5 and it's a gold copper. But there's more gold than there is copper because that primary color direction, that first number after the dash is that primary color. So you could do 2 parts 5-5 to 1 part 5-7. So 2/3 of your formula would be a level 5 gold and 1/3 is going to be a level 5 copper, and you can create your own 5-57 until that comes in. So I hope that helps you out, but just know waiting for it. Hopefully you can use that as a way to make your own 5-57. So next question, how to chocolate light color, no pre-lift. So chocolate light color. So what I'm hearing here is I'm thinking a lighter color that has a chocolate base, but without pre-lightening. So you have a couple of different options here. So when it comes to lifting hair, you have the option of using a high lift series, but you also have the option of using a fashion hair is virgin, you can use a high lift. A high lift is going to be in your blue box, which I have right here. It's a 10 and a 12 series. You can use that blue box on virgin hair. It's going to give you up to 4 levels of lift with the 10 series and up to 5 levels of lift with your 12 series. Now, if that hair has been previously colored, that's when you're going to want to use Agora Fashion Lights. They come in this purple box and they have an L in front of them rather than an actual level because they get you up to 5 levels of lift in one step, even on previously colored hair. Yes, you heard me correctly, even on previously colored hair. So if you're looking to get a chocolate without lifting it with a lightener first, your closest option is actually going to be this beige, L-44. So let's pretend that my client's hair has already been colored and I need something that's going to fight through color. I can use L-44 in foils and create highlights with 40 volume to give you that up to 5 levels of lift, and it's going to give you that beige tone. If that beige tone is not enough, you have a whole Demi-permanent range of chocolate shades that you could put over top of that, including a level 8-46. A level 8, and that's a beige chocolate. It has become one of my new favorite shades to add into formulas. To that point, if my client has virgin hair, I can actually use an 8-46 level 8 beige chocolate with a 30 or 40 volume developer and create up to 4 levels of lift. So with Agora Real, your permanent hair color line, you can get 3 to 4 levels of lift with just this box of color on virgin hair. So if someone does have virgin hair, I can actually use 8-46 by itself with a 30 or a 40 volume and create that lift and give a beautiful lighter chocolate shade. Now, fun fact, I've started mixing this 8-4-6 into my formula to create a little bit of it really helped to kind of ground copper that I have and give a great end result. Now, if that didn't quite answer your chocolate question, just go to skpedu.com, book your one-on-one appointment with an Ask Expert, and they can finish answering that question for you if you have a specific tone you're looking for. I love this next question. Love this. So thank you for even asking it. How can I be a trainer? And by trainer, I think what you're saying is, how can I be an education team person? How can I be part of the education team for Schwarzkopf? So for Schwarzkopf, you would need to, I would say, go ahead on Instagram or Facebook, tell them that you're interested in becoming an educator, because then they will get you directed to a regional education manager. We have regional education managers all over the US, and we have different ones that cover different regions. You met Shelby Allen today. She's in the Nashville area and she covers a lot of the East Coast. We also have Terry on the East Coast. We have Lisa over there as well. John David in Texas, myself on the West Coast. So we have lots of people that you can connect with. So if you're on Instagram or Facebook, just DM and say, I'm interested in becoming an educator. They will get you to the right team member and they can get you more information on that. But I love that people are interested in becoming trainers, because we always need more education team members, and what a great way to really immerse yourself in the brand. So next question, can you explain a little bit about the Schwarzkopf range? So Schwarzkopf range is a lot of ranges. So I'm just going to get very top on this. So when we talk about Schwarzkopf, we're talking mainly about our hair color, or that's what a lot of people know us about, but we have more than just. So I'm just going to scratch the surface. So in Schwarzkopf Professional, we have our IGORA Real, which is our permanent hair color range. This is our #1 seller. This is amazing for gray coverage. This is going to be great if you're looking to get high lifts, or if you want to get like highlights in hair without using a lightener. This is your go-to range. Now, if you're someone who's like, well, I love a permanent hair color, but I need something that's ammonia-free, Schwarzkopf also has IGORA Zero. IGORA Zero is our ammonia-free permanent hair color range. You can see we have a very large selection of shades within this range that will give you 100% gray coverage, and also a ton of fashion shades, along with a few high lift series in this as well. Along with that, other top line we have that you might have heard a lot about is IGORA Vibrance. IGORA Vibrance is Schwarzkopf Professional's Demi permanent hair color range. Demi permanent means I'm going to get up to 70% gray blending, but I'm using this mainly for refreshing mid-lengths and ends, for toning the hair, and I can get up to 70% gray blending with this as well. And you can see this is also a very large range. So this is our Demi permanent range. So when we think of, I want to use permanent on the regrowth and I want to use a Demi permanent on the mids and ends, Vibrance is that Demi permanent for you. Now going into one last little segment that we have another permanent color called IGORA Color 10. Do you ever have that day that you're running behind at the salon and you just wish you could catch up? Color 10 is your answer. Have you ever gotten a bleeder on one of your foils and you need to quickly fix the bleeder? Color 10. Have you ever rinsed out your color and realized you missed a spot of gray? Color 10 is the answer. It is our permanent hair color range that gets you 100% gray coverage in just 10 minutes. It's a smaller range, but it's also a miracle worker. And last but not least, we have a few shades also in our Blonde Me range. So we have a few high lift series, and we also have some new toners that are our new glow toners that are truly acidic glow toners that create absolutely zero lift to tone your blonde hair and keep it in the best shape possible. So that is a very general overview of our color. Now also do lighteners and also in our IGORA. And so definitely if you want to find out more, we also offer free classes once a month. And they are offered, you can go to skpeducation.com and you'll find the full list of classes, but we go over IGORA, everything IGORA. So that'd be all the permanent range, including Color 10 and IGORA Zero. We go over IGORA Vibrance, and then we also have a Blonde Me class. So join us for those classes. Go to skpeducation.com to find them and book your free education to learn all about the ranges. So the next question I have here, My client is a level 3. What vibrance color can I use to cover her gray, but also not create warmth? What level vibrance can I use? So level 3 is a very dark level. There's not a lot of shades in the darker level, but there are a few. So if we're looking at this, we have 2 shades that sit at a level 3, and it's going to be a 3-0 and a 3-00. Now, bear in mind that I mentioned with IGORA Vibrance, you're going to get up to 70% gray blending. We don't claim 100% gray coverage, but what I will tell you is that on a finer hair texture, I have 100% seen 100% gray coverage on a fine hair texture with IGORA Vibrance, but it's only on fine hair. If you have a coarser hair texture, I would recommend that you go to our IGORA Real Permanent line or IGORA Zero Permanent to get that 100% gray coverage. But in this range, we have a 3-0 and a 3-00. If you're looking for 100% gray coverage, a third of your formula needs to be the -00, that natural extra, because there is more pigment weight in the natural extra. So if you're looking for that up to 70% gray blending, mix 1/3 of your formula with 3-00. The other can be 3-0. Now, I heard you say you want 0 warmth. I know this is a level 4, but this is a level 4-13. It is that Cendre matte. That matte is a green color that's going to kick out any red that you would potentially see by having warmth. Because this is a cooler color at a level 4, it's going to appear deeper because cooler shades absorb light. So you could also mix a 4-13 into your formula, or we have a 4-33, which is straight up green at a level 4. So it's hard to see on this swatch, but you can see it has almost this really deep forest green. So if that client really is prone to getting warm, you could add that 4-33 into that 3-0 or 3-00 formula to help you get that gray coverage and maintain the coolness of that shade. So I hope that helps. But if that didn't answer your question, again, go to skpedu.com, book your one-on-one appointment with an Ask Expert, and they can absolutely answer that question for you in more detail. So next question, I have Tiffany here asking, I do a lot of gray blending with Vibrance. I love it, but I'm struggling with lines of demarcation, no matter what the volume or whether it's a -00 or not. Any thoughts on this or suggestions? Tiffany, this is an excellent question. It's hard to get gray coverage and not have a line of demarcation. It's nearly impossible. So I understand the concern of using a 6 volume or a 13 volume and not having a line of demarcation. To be honest, if you're looking to not have a line of demarcation, for sure, I would only use your 6 volume gel. This would be my #1 go-to. But what you have to remember with this is that if I'm using a fashion shade, which is anything that's not a -00 in Vibrance, I'm only going to get up to 30% gray blending. But if you're looking for not much of a line of demarcation, maybe more gray blending is what you need. And so maybe using something that's a fashion shade and mixing it with your gel will give you the least amount of line of demarcation. But you'll have to understand that we're still permanently altering that hair, even though it's a Demi permanent. It's still a chemical, an MEA, and it's also a developer that's going in and chemically altering that hair. So while it fades off the hair, it's not going to fade completely off back to what they had before. So I would say in that instance, maybe even just tone their hair if they're looking for more of a toner. But just know, regardless, if you're going to do some sort of gray blending, there's going to be some sort of line of demarcation. The best way to avoid it is using 6 volume gel. And I know you said no matter what. So maybe avoid using -00, that extra pigment weight, and stick to 6 volume gel to get the least amount of line of demarcation from a Demi permanent color. All right. So again, I know that one's kind of a struggle. So I would recommend you book a one-on-one appointment also with a education team member at skpedu.com. And maybe you can talk through further your client and what you're wanting to get as a result for that. So amazing. So next question we have here, I have a question from Wendy that says, can you tell me the benefit of using the new toners? Amazing. So I briefly talked about the new toners, but in our Blonde Me range, we have our new Blonde Me Glow toners, and they come in this box here. Now, if you've used Blonde Me toners in the past, you might be used to this box. So there is a little bit of a difference here. One, the old toners comes in a tube like this, and it's more of a jelly consistency. Whereas our brand new Blonde Me Glow toners are going to come in a bottle, and they are truly a liquid. And we actually launched, along with this, a gel activator that you can mix with your toner to do a bottle application. But you can also still use your 7-volume lotion in our Blonde Me range as your developer with this if you want to do a bowl and bottle application. Now, the benefit of using this new toner, I always say that the biggest difference, so this is an acidic toner. So what that means is it's closing that hair cuticle, and that color is sitting more on the outside of that hair strand, giving you a more translucent end result. So if you have somebody with really fragile hair, you just lifted their hair is super fragile, and you want the absolute most gentle option, then I would say using your Blonde Me Glow toners is going to be the absolute most gentle option. But if you've lifted someone's hair and they're still very yellow and you might need a little bit of extra pigment weight, then maybe IGORA Vibrance is your answer. So both are going to be amazing toners. They're both going to work well for you. It's just a matter of what you need for the job that you're doing. Now, what I want to do is show you the difference in pigment weight between a Blonde Me versus a Vibrance. So when we're looking at these swatches here, they're both a 10-1. The one in red is going to be Vibrance. The one in the black letter is going to be our new Blonde Me toner. If you look, especially at the top of the swatch, you can see there's less of a line of demarcation using the Blonde Me toner because it's a softer pigment weight than what you're seeing with Vibrance. So when we think of alkaline versus a acidic toner, an alkaline toner does slightly lift that hair cuticle, allowing some of that color to go underneath that hair cuticle, therefore giving a little bit more pigment weight. They're both amazing toners. The biggest difference is if I want to make sure that I'm creating absolutely zero lift, I know I can have no lift on that hair at all, maybe I want to use the Blonde Me Acidic Glow Toner. If that hair is really compromised, acidic Blonde Me Glow Toner. If that hair is in good condition, I can use either one. I can choose Vibrance as my toner, or I could use Blonde Me Glow toners. They're both amazing toners. It's just different options. If you're looking to get this really soft glaze on your highlights, Blonde Me Glow toner all the way. It's going to give you that soft, translucent pigment weight, but it's still going to give you the absolute same longevity. So with your glow toners, it's up to 6 shampoos worth of longevity with a level 10 toner. Same way with Vibrance. If it's a 9.5 series, it's up to 12 shampoos worth of longevity. So they both have the same longevity. It's just more a matter of, do you want slightly more translucent pigment weight, or do you need a little bit more pigment for the job that you're doing? So I hope that helps. But again, if that hair is very compromised, my go-to would be Blonde Me, and it also has a bonding technology along with the bonding. I mean, Vibrance also has one, but just know that it's located in both. So next question we have here. I would like to know IGORA color line really well. How can I get educated? Okay, so reminder, skpeducation.com is our e-academy. On that platform, when you look for courses, we have free educational classes every month. So we had one in February already. I want to say it's the 3rd week in March. On that 3rd Monday, we have free education for everyone. So I would start your journey on the e-academy. Go to skpeducation.com. So skpeducation.com. Go ahead and log in, register as a user, and take the IGORA education that's there. They're little bite-sized information that you can get there. Then book your free class. So the next free class that we have is going to be in March, and we'll have one that's over IGORA Foundations, which is IGORA Real, IGORA Color 10, and IGORA Zero. That starts at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Then at 10:45 a.m., we start on our IGORA Vibrance, our Demi permanent range. That's a 45-minute class because you've already learned IGORA Real at that point. And then afterwards at 12 or 11:45, then we have our Blonde Me class, which is another 45-minute class. So if you want to learn more about each one, start with the e-academy, skpeducation.com, register as a user, take the online little pockets of information, then take your virtual class, your product knowledge class that is free, and you can find it even on that skpeducation.com page. So if you have trouble finding it, you can always DM us, or you can book your one-on-one appointment with an Ask Expert, and they can give you more information as well. Next question. How do you make 10 volume a little weaker or even 6 volume in vibrance? This is a trick question, a little bit, right? Because technically we shouldn't be altering your developers at all. So here's what I would say. To make 10 volume a little bit weaker, technically we don't recommend making it weaker. It is a 10 volume for a reason. If anything, I have in the past, and I'm saying this in an outside of the box of Schwarzkopf, because we don't recommend it. But I have, if I've needed to, used a Blonde Me 7 volume with IGORA Riel. We do not recommend it. And if you did it, I would only do lotion. That's the only one I've used, but we don't recommend it. But if you need something lower than a 10 volume, that's the only option that we have. We don't recommend diluting our developers because adding water, you don't know what the chemical makeup of that developer is. So we don't really recommend adding water. Now, the only other side little trick, because I want to tell you manufacturer recommendations, but I also will tell you what I do at home sometimes, because we know we're hairstylists, so we know the rules and we know how to break them. So what I've done for my own hair is I'll use 10 volume for my permanent coverage on the regrowth. Because I don't like to waste color, what I'll do is I'll take that formula that I have already mixed, and I have added, again, not recommended by Schwarzkopf, but I've done it. I've mixed in a conditioner in with the rest of my formula and pulled it through the mid-lengths and ends. And I say this all to say it is not manufacturer recommended. So if you do it and it does not turn out the way you think it's going to, you cannot call our support line and say that didn't work. But a tip that I've done is I'll take my leftover color, add a little bit of conditioner to the leftover color, but I'm not strictly altering the developer. I never just alter the developer. I just make whatever things I need to do work for my own hair, mainly because I don't like to waste color and I don't keep a lot of color at my home. So I hope that helped you out. Next question, can I mix a high lift with color? This is a high lift. This is color. So the question is, can I mix these together? And I'm going to give you two answers as I usually do. Answer number one is no. We do not recommend mixing a blue box with a red box. These two technologies are different. You're getting 0 gray coverage with the blue box. You can get up to 70% gray coverage or 100% gray coverage with a red box. Therefore, you're diluting your gray coverage. They have different technologies because this has a bonding technology. This one does not. So we do not recommend mixing these two together. That is one answer. Second answer, my money piece. Guess what I do? I do mix them together. Again, not recommended, but I only do it because sometimes I don't need as much lift as a level 10, but I'm not looking for gray coverage. If I was looking for gray coverage, this would not be a good mix. So I mix for my money piece here on my regrowth. I take 7 grams of 10-4, level 10 beige, and I mix just a tiny little bit of a level 9-7. A level 9 copper, and that gives me just this soft little bit of warmth to my regrowth, and I never have to then tone the mids and ends. I use that, again, not manufacturer recommended. We typically don't recommend mixing these two together, but if you do, just remember you're not getting gray coverage with this one. So if you mix it with IGORA Riel, you are diluting your gray coverage. So I hope that helped to answer that question. Again, I'll give you manufacturer recommendations and then things I have tried that have worked for me. So next question, L-44 with what level developer? So I mentioned earlier talking about L-44. These are our high lifts that are going to give you up to 5 levels of lift and tone in one step, even on previously colored hair. Now, this is in the back of your book on your specialties page back here. And you can see here, these swatches are the L series. These are the fashion lights. They're meant to be highlighted into the hair. They're off scalp only. So they're not meant to go on scalp, but they will give you that up to 5 levels of lift and tone, even on previously colored hair. It is recommended to use these with 40 volume IGORA Riel developer. So you're going to use your 40 volume IGORA Riel developer with these to achieve the full up to 5 levels of lift. Now, I did talk to Germany recently. I was just over there, and they're about to say that you can actually use 30 volume with these as well. However, I would think of it like this. If my hair was virgin here and the rest was previously colored, maybe on the virgin hair, I just do 30 volume and 40 volume on the previously colored, so I get a nice even result. So typically 40 volume for maximum lift, but you could use 30 volume with these as well. And it is mixed in a 1-to-1 mixing ratio, 1 part color to 1 part developer, processed for 30 to 45 minutes, 30 on fine hair and 45 for coarse. So thank you for that question. We have time for maybe one more question here. So let's see what we've got here. All right, so it's also about the L series. So we are already here. I love that. So what about black box dye color? Well, we all know black box color. Say that 10 times. It's hard, I will tell you. So black box color, this is not going to live through years worth of black box dye. I will tell you, I did have a client one time that she had been coloring her hair with black box dye. She didn't want to be as light as a swatch, but she wanted a hint of red to her hair. So I was able to use the fashion lights to create that up to 5 levels of lift, but it didn't give me 5 levels. She's been doing black box dye for a while, so it's been like layered onto her hair, but it did give her this nice little shimmer of this red violet to her hair that was somewhat similar to this swatch, but a little bit deeper. So if you're at black, think about that. These are actually put on a level 5 swatch. This is what I can expect to achieve on a level 5 swatch. So if I'm on a level 1 and this is a level 5 and I'm getting up to 5 levels of lift, I'm only going to get up to maybe a level 5 at best. So just know on black box dye, you may not get as light as this swatch, but you'll get a shift to that color and get maybe 1 to 3 levels lighter if it's black box dye. If it's only been box dyed once, then maybe you'll get 3 to 4 levels of lift. If it's been over and over again, chances are you're going to get not as much as that. You're really going to get a slight shift to that hair. So I hope that answered that question. Again, I have used it that way before and it gives a nice tone, and that's about it. So I just want to say thank you to all of you for sticking through today's technical difficulties. It was a rough one today for sure, but I hope that you had your questions answered about eAcademy. And if you haven't yet, go to skpeducation.com, get certified in the 4x4 lean technique, get certified in the bespoke layer, and get certified in your 90s blowout. Utilize the free education that we have there. And just let's all give a big round of applause to Shelby for coming on today and helping us with those technical difficulties and answering your questions there. We will be back again in 3 weeks on Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we will be answering all of your questions there. So if we didn't get to you today, go to skpedu.com, book your one-on-one appointment, and also join us in 3 weeks at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the same channel you're watching from today. And we will see you then. Have a great